Welcome to my channel. My name is Curtis A. Merriweather Jr. In 2020, I was named a game changer by the White House, policy advisor for innovation and entrepreneurship. I just want to thank you for taking time to watch my video. Before I jump into my topic, I want you to subscribe, share, and like. Now, let's get into our topic. Today, we are talking about sole sources versus set-aside contracts. Now, contracting officers can use either sole source contracts or set-asides to help the federal government meet its small business contracting goals. Now, let's talk about the difference. The first one we want to talk about is the sole source. A sole source is an acquisition method. Now, I'm going to give you the technical definition. It says a single source or supplier to the best of the requester's knowledge. Now, this could be the program manager or the contracting officer. If you understand how government contracting works, the contracting officer is the one who can obligate the federal government. The program manager has the need, but the contracting officer is the one who can obligate or place the federal government into a contracting action. Okay, so one side has the need or the requirement, the other side has the money or the ability to put the government in a contractual relationship. So based on the best understanding of the requester, this should be based on market research. They determine that a firm is best positioned to provide this product or service that the government has need of. Now, typically, market surveys or some type of method helps them to determine who are the viable sources or vendors. Source is a different word for vendor. Sources, vendor, company, use any one of those words for this said opportunity. Now, I don't want you to be confused. Similar types of goods or services may exist. So the government has options, but only one specific sole source, one specific supplier is being chosen to move forward with this contract action. Now, that could be because of expertise, that could be of quality, that could be of a whole host of reasons. Now, the Federal Acquisition Regulation, which is a FAR, subpart 6.3, justifies and provides the explanations for why the federal government would pursue a sole source acquisition. So get familiar with subpart 6.3 in the FAR. The FAR is the Federal Acquisition Regulation. That is the Bible that governs government contracting. So in order to hold the government accountable, they have put out some guidance that they're aware of and you should be aware of as a government contractor, so you can know that things are being done by the book. Again, the sole source should not be used to avoid competition. Now, in order to justify this action, the federal government oftentimes, especially for my 8A companies, and if you've seen my certification video, I talked about the 8As, the hub zones, the woman-owned small business, and the service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. Now, these companies will have to use a J&A, a justification and authorization has to be done by the government contracts office to substantiate, to warrant, to validate its decision to pursue a sole source acquisition method. Okay, so sole source is an acquisition method. Now let's talk briefly about set-asides. Now, a set-aside are contracts, I'm talking about federal government contracting, but these are contracts reserved by the federal government that limit competition to qualifying small businesses. So this could be a small business, this could be an 8A, this could be a hub zone, this could be a SDVOSB and a WOSB. Again, if these names, those acronyms don't mean anything, go and watch the video that I did on certifications, and that'll provide you some more guidance on what I'm talking about. Now, contract opportunities are removed from full and open competition. Full and open means anyone can compete. So a set aside has been reserved or set aside for a specific social category. Small business is a social category, and there are further delineations. 8A, woman-owned, HubZone, SDVOSB. Did I say HubZone already? HubZone. Those different social economic classifications are different permutations, different classifications of small business. But small business itself is a set-aside type. Full and open competition, both large and small business alike can compete. Now, set-asides for social economic programs must consist of at least 2 qualified sources or vendors, and the contract can be competed at fair market price. So that's just want to give you a very brief primer on the difference between sole sources and set-asides. And the key takeaways are sole sources are not used to limit competition, but instead to get to a special source, special in quotes, and can be substantiated by a J&A, a justification and authorization. Now, it can get a little more complicated than that, especially when you talk about the Super 8As, which I haven't talked about the Super 8As yet on my channel, but we can get even more nuanced. But the key things is not to avoid competition. You have been deemed special for this particular acquisition, and it has to be validated by a J&A. That's a justification authorization for why your firm is being chosen. And that needs to be something that needs to be applicable with the guidance outlined in the FAR subpart 6.3 to be specific. So thank you for tuning in, and go watch some other videos. We got a lot of good content that we're pushing out on this channel, all intended to increase the knowledge base of our listeners. So thanks, and enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time.